In this video I'm going to build the biggest creation this channel has ever seen. Yeah, that's right, I'm using AI voices now cause my accent is too bad. I always wanted to own the Ninja's Famos ship, but it's too expensive, so I just build my own. But many people built their own Destiny's bounties, so mine had to be different. That's why I made it in the what I call Ninjago City style, which uses many different colors instead of just a few. At first, I didn't have enough pieces, but then I did this with one of last year's creations. After finally having enough pieces again, I started building. I made a long foundation out of 4x8 and similar plates which I connected with Technic bricks. And I also put inverted tiles on the bottom. I thickened the foundation using inverted sloped, modified bricks and more Technic bricks with tiles and plates on top. I rounded the shape of the foundation using slopes which I put on the sides. To make a strong and stable connection I used Technic lift arms, which I used to connect a second, similar platform. I made many different weapon stands and other things as decoration for the interior. As you can see, I left 4 studs in the middle so there is room for many figures to walk, and there is still enough space to fit all of the interior decoration. I used more Technic bricks like this one to make another platform, which I used as a second floor. Instead of proper walls on the inside, I used inverted slopes, connected by Technic pins, because the hull should be narrow. The walls on the second floor of the hull are wider so the ship will be bigger at the end. I also made a table for sushi on one side and another table for money on the other side. I connected the walls via Technic brick to make it really strong and durable. On the inside I built more walls so there is another 4 stud wide walkway. I also included a lot of clip pieces on the walls to make room for more weapons. All of LEGO's Destiny's bounties have a function where the thrusters on the side can turn around whenever you want them in landing or flying position. I also wanted to have that on my Destiny's bounty, that's why I made these gears. When you turn the one on the top, the 2 prop shafts will spin. With this construction, when you turn the brown wheel on the top, the dark gray gear will spin very slowly and it only transfers force from one direction, which will come in hand later. I made more interior like 4 beds for 6 ninjas, seems like 2 have to sleep on the ground. Other decoration for the inside is just a few tables and a record player. You can remove the floor easy due to it being only connected with a few studs. I speed built the walls for the exterior and made them look like the lower floors of the Ninjago City buildings in dark tan, reddish brown, tan, and sand green colors. I also put light bluish gray tubes as piping on the exterior. The exterior walls are connected with these clip connector brick modifieds. They connect to these clip pieces which I placed on the inside walls. The walls have to be bent a lot to connect properly, but it's a really strong connection, should something fell off. I also put limb elements in a light green color and white on the exterior to give it the overgrown feeling. I used bent Technic lift arms in the inner walls so that I can easily pick it up. I also included these weird connectors to connect more thrusters. I made the thrusters using round bricks, pipes and tubes with red curved slopes on with giant golden swords on the exterior to give it the thruster-like look. I quickly snapped another one into existence and connected them to the ship. For the giant thrusters in the back I used Technic bricks and lift arms with red covering. I also made a function that they don't turn but make a sail out of golden swords similar to the newest Temple Bounty set. It's made using Technic connectors with different angles. It looks kinda like a Japanese fan thingy. I made another one and connected them to the ship. I used the rotation ball joint 2 times per thruster to connect them, but it's not strong enough to hold them stable, so they sink down a bit. I used stud knot on top and clip connections to make the front of the ship angled and round. It was hard at first, but I think I did a good job. The front is dark red, gray, brown, and black with a lot of big panels, which I finally found a use for. The back is very similar with similar colors, but I managed to include a small room and there are many thrusters for more exterior detail. The whole thing is stabilized by Technic bricks and lift arms. On the inside there are stairs and ladders to connect the 2 floors together. Now let's put all of the pieces together. It's quite big. More than 60 centimeters in total. It's so big, that's why I made this stand at first, but it's so heavy that it sometimes randomly broke. That's phone camera footage from a month ago. The ship swings to the side, and it wasn't even completed yet. That's why the ship now has bigger, but uglier Technic stands. Let's build the middle walkway, which is supposed to look like in the Ninjago city sets. I used a lot of Technic bricks, but this time, in red. I connected them with Technic pins and stack plates on top, and I also used a similar technique for the railing as in some of my other mocks. I made this giant stone staircase in the middle so minifigures can walk to the upper floors. This door leads to the lower decks. I also made this platform with 2 stairs leading to it so the building on top can be a bit higher. To make the ship more round, I used wedge plates, and I also made a little hideout for baby Raju. The interior for the upper floor consists of a bed, tables, and other shelves with some plants on them. Let's speed build the walls real quick. I used 2 pieces in light bluish gray again to make pipes on the exterior, and I made some trees using limb elements to give the building some color. I made the front in different yellow shades and used pink to mix it up a little. The jaw of the giant dragon head is simple plates stacked on top of each other. The rest of the head is built with brick modifieds and bricks stacked upwards, which is then stacked to the side. The dragon holds a pole in his mouth, which is there to connect the sail. I decorated the dragon head with small magenta limb elements with some lime green for variation. I also made magenta custom sails, which I connected with pink flower pieces. To make the sails, I first made a template out of normal paper. And I also made another one to see where the dragon pattern will go. I cut the sails out of transparent paper and the pattern out of cardboard paper. I glued them on top of each other to make the cool pattern that many Destiny's Bounty ships have. Now let's put the 3rd floor on the hull. I made connectors so that the 3 sections of the hull don't fall apart. There are many people who live on this ship, so let's make them some homes. The first home will be light orange. There is only space for a bed, a chair, and a table. I duplicated the home quickly and gave it some new interior decorations. The next home will be mint green. For the inside I made a sofa, a table, a chair, and a giant bookshelf. Let's snap the figure away to reveal. I made a second similar home with different furniture. The back is always ugly, but you'll never see that in the finished build. The next home is going to be a restaurant with lots of different foods. Sadly, it's very small with only one place to sit. I used a stud knot on top technique to make those windows. This guy is happy that he has a place to live, but, oh no, somebody switched his home and the owner is not very happy. Go away. This home is a barber shop, with a sink, barber chair, cash register, and other decorations. Let's place those homes in their places. And now let's place some minifigures to bring the deck to life. The deck is also secured with a Technic axle so it doesn't fall off that quick. This is what it looks like from the top right now. For the roof and also the fourth floor or deck or whatever you want to call it, I used slopes on top of curved plates with curved slopes in green to make it look more lush and green. In the middle there is some kind of sacred paper with candles and some other decoration. We used 1x1 round tiles with eyes inside of trans pink 1x2x5 pillars to make this cool bubble effect. Don't worry, you won't see the eyeballs. The other roof is similar but different, with angled plates and a pond in the middle. I also made the training machines that the ninjas used to train on the original Destiny's Bounty. I also left holes for the mechanism and the pole for the big sail. Let's place the roof in the final build. For the cockpit, I used tan and red to make this cool look. I also used snot techniques for the walls. On the inside, there are computers and only one guy for the navigation. In this final cockpit with the round window piece, there are many computers and more importantly the steering wheel. I used wedge plates with cheese slopes for the roof. They fit on top of each other to make one building. Now finally, the coolest building, Wu's crib. We got the master himself meditating in the middle, and his staff, his candles, his plants, his coal action figure, mixtapes, and his boombox which blasts the finest tunes for him to meditate, like this. Let's build the walls up. I sprinkled in some gray pipes and green limb elements for leaves for some color. The roof uses this cool technique where I used vehicle chains instead of a traditional roof design. I use my green custom sail here. The dragon pattern is white from the back. Let's build the final sail mast. It sits in the middle of the pond. That's why I used a lot of plants and limb elements to make it look like a tree. I stacked Technic axles and connectors very high up to make the mast, or pole, or whatever it's called. Anyway, on top there is a little bucket with a flag and a monkey inside. I use this final sail piece, which is red from the back. Let's put the final buildings in their places. The giant pole is connected with 2 Technic axles for stability. With that, the ship is completed. I had a ton of fun making this, but it was also a lot of effort. Thank you guys that stayed till the end for 200 subscribers, but still, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel and comment if I should continue and improve the AI voice, or should I maybe use my, or the other bro's voice with the heavy German accent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and now, as always, enjoy the remaining hardest picks.